sangma tashdele kungam sang thari pe chilo yidon chopke daos betse chupti nyimo dela ani talelame geze thungyu wo shiri liwo ki koti shube achilo la mane sangje loti ki pete sabjon dala chibyo nambe ani angaje zo sabtiba shi 맞아 시행 전속이 청소 되게 변적하기 긴지 계실 하고라 아니 아무리 둘러롱의 가기 되게 제목 롱랑과 계실로 산텐지 얘기라 대단하시 되게 제목 그란지 자와라 아니 태어나신기 아주 게라 제니퍼 녹스 안 태어나신 코난스에게 벤저 두고 쳔베 겐지 셴바 메톤로 아니 티네 안주기 에므리 네 숭규다 이규 난케 게셰 담디 남게라 타 아니 준주 삼데라 태어나신 아주 컨덴 포장기 공어 쳔벨 흔들라 대나시 땅아란스 랍작하네 페베게 게라 넘버 창마체 제베 룹투 넘버 안 대나신 게 아주 동래 롭제네 페베게 동래 롭제 겐지 게 구쇼 제베게 아니 기게 레제 넘버 창말라 게 시리리군게 찹슈데 창말라 당보데라 가수 당안 참지 자시들의 쉐이 당한주 다리 니마 찌기 sabji di zawe ngazu ta chilu la ma de be sangje nani shu de ge re tang ran zu ge jizo nang lo la ani di ta jugne do ji cha de ge re de nga ngazu chin da chungi nang lo la number zu khengi re nima shi sabjon ji emre zu la lom ye khang gi khona zu rang gi ma ngazu nima shi ring sabjon ji nang ba re ta tharing ngusu shirim omata shirim parme nanglo la ani ngone lopti ngusu khandes nangdang gi thola pete sabti ji khonanzo gi tendes thari nima ninga ta shoge shirim omata ningu gyabla shirim parma sine tendes ne nangire ani tan ngaras de la ya phege hagemba research yudukala ani injinala chigni somji shu chawchi. On behalf of the Department of Education of the Central Tibetan Administration, I would like to extend my hearty welcome to our trainers and guests from Emory University. And for your kind information, in our participants, we have school heads from 9 different schools from in and around Dharamsala, including Tonglen, and we have nearly 40 teachers of elementary schools as well as middle schools, and we have 20 elementary students over here for the morning session, and in the afternoon we will have another 20 students from the middle schools. And from my heart, I would like to convey our hearty gratitude to Emory University for taking keen interest and also extending your help regarding the implementation of secular ethics to our Tibetan schools and students. So with this note, now I would like to request the chairman of the Education Council, Geshe Lhagdola, to say a few words on this day. Thank you.
Tatandanga shiri legungi hiyo lenzoki ginzi imbada ani lehidi nyamde chinge jimbe chane signi hiwa ina tangbodi tanda emuri ni pebi nambasu ani shiri legunda ani gandipona tepza di internet dane thadi chinge nambasu sama tuji chi hiweda 니바데 당간도 상주 랍세데 잠고를 보시는 단 돌드나 가장간도 샘도 쏘고 총도 쏘도 내게 세룹디스 내가 딘데 체용도 나 유링스 데에 더바도스 다 팀에도 에네 기라 초스 통문도 쏘고도다 다 넘버스 센요르데 벤자다고다 내가 쳔보래 제자 여러 상주 랍이 딘 자다 지나고도와 군둥기 디 좀제 히브주도와 미메존난 당간도에 로야시 랩서도 스타용도 직직라 제심다 펜도체게 때스 메나 Any Tundra Roja Ranchiku Say Tungi Chanja Yudena, Bebe Rishungi Ningo Lasare, Miga Sanjo Lasare, Zambuling on the Cheton Chi de Lasare, teach you the tongue of the pet, the Sonam Gawangi, Jambuji, Diroji Pevni, Lamdu, Dindijeta, Kasan Charas, Mangputong, or Chiji to Zambuling Kawakasi, Kasi Sajik, similar Digi Yungi, Chamze, Pale, Kasi Sajik Kundungi, Kolomna, Pendo Yungudo. What teach you the not to mix a proposal language, Chagiore, and a labar to Gala numbers to language, Hibujiore, Pulo Chunju to the kind of Higmare, Gaking Carsozore, or Tindichi, Titanda Chixuni to so, Tensu Sudi, Hendake Hume. Never de Sanju, the singing the Lavie Yore, Lavie Yomar, getting Yore. Just a Lavie Net and a Lavie Yore, penetrating on the jungle, Lavie Yore. That love Gomare, the Ranchi Lanjeki, Young de Race, Pen a head of Wachina. Any head tanky get a simple hugiona, and Miss Sama, Aja the head and get a chill and not some Taga do Labgires, Labgire de Yinata, more knocking on Sama, Rova, Jacob digging member Sama, He Jangos, Paji Labgimares. Yarab Sanjo get a hearing the Tita Hida Labi career, some Cheguich Revas, the Yunguer sit, Nangam Gitadu Nala, Duzu Yore, just a did Tonda Yingbo and Carsiosana, Cho Chingni. Pusola love to love down that Chidan, that Chenig when Yum, the directoning on Chidan Miss Sambo in a love down machine, Kanga Mango huge Rama Tuchene, Nepa Tempo Yungi, love down to some machine, Mango Yore, Ding of the Mango Jan Chick. Never the Lavi Yomar Sedu, Love Mugochin, the pet in Hengor Sedu, the pet Tasa, Gamba Duzuki. Can you love a chick woman, but Susan Namjuk, Nanjog Tony, Ranchi Lange give me a Gosuji. Penang of the Misana Lane, Pama Yabu Budu, Cartini Yagadua. And Pama Changi Roda Kajumu, the Karchina Budua, you say what or that Tindic children unit in a chorching on the Lavie de Jangueda, Roba, Chornine, Susan and Lavasam, Pingy Omaring, on to Nanjunal, turn to the turn job passage, Chori Dindicia, Salam, the Susu Majena, Gelanga loves the Corante, the Labgres, Pejana Yore, or teach you the Titanda needing a Shueshu, Shuek Dobachu, and the numbers of Yakusen and Juma. Lavido Yago Yunga, Mituneta Gundu Gunki, Shukshamu Duviga, Sama Chadunyam de Naronans, Timato Him, Tujice.
The Rengi, check subjonti, check pa shesha some mind, but Musu, check Pedungitone to share into yet Kejamuchi Shemoache, Hina yet Duduchi Shubayena, yet Cheshila check Chulula Matempe, Sancho. The Candechilla was in Chigi, Medita Chisebuchi, Cantona, Yapoyo Sares. Jatanti, and it's Chulula Matempe Sancho, the Musing Candechi Nangueme, and it's Chulula Matempe Sanchuki, Chictone, the Rinkasangi to Sola Pendo, Candechi Yungame, Karichin Gachimo Chagame, or the Ningiti Chicken and Duduchi Shugi, Mambushumo Wache, Zarachik, Tanda. Lopshitiki, Lopshire, Tanashin, Domshit, and to Shata, Parkanchi to Sure, Shatan Tone, number two, Sapa to Gigan, number two, Chixishi now in a Wakingere, and did a dishing in Mount Bataba, Gigan, Ujon, the name Pungore, Chasanti Captella, Chixebuchi Kangore, Chasanti in Mambushuma Wache, that Chulula Matemba Sancho, Chulula Matemba the Caricani into Shubaina, Gonsachoki. That devil lo sumchu halam sumchu songas ringla ani chi nupchogi that sendi parre shiyen re shiyen gi kele parre ta dedan deshingi chik peri kha ta chik mangbochi ta ani chik community na yon tsamba ta drin kesangi chik chiso na la chik mi mitsenal kangi mangbo chite yoyadi sangjo ki madang ne choba sangboti ki madang che chik Chingmobo, Benjo Corner, Chick, Chick Mix, to share into some better Chisonal, Kangam, which is high on water, Chesanti into Chick me, Sampo, Rintanji Kishu, Tapen Jambata, Ninja, or didn't the Shingi, any chick, that chick, some good duer. Well, or the name get it, which is high on water, Chesanti into Chulula Sanjo Kilomia di Guadi, Gachimboche, that is Chulula Matemba Karisha and Shutizamba, Penang answer, Chick Lopta Vaina, Saman Nangbache, this Nanjotone, rin sambe yenten de so ta che nangbe shung de so ran le che dus tinana digo arete zamling gachesalat chik lopto nalo la ta chik chulu tamenda lakpar to chulu making gi lopto tene le ngore kunan cho la ina sangbe kecho de so goya de kechim bu chi chayo ngore cha din yindi chik dene ke chik 드링 기상기 다 지소 나라 즉 출루 여바다 매바 출루 여바이나 출루 담인다 몽부직 두스 직차요인데 델라니 제 상주 직 길롭티 나와이나 디 출루 직이 실라샤네 나한테 잠바 그 다다 용화 거라메 뒤 잠바 아니 직 출루라 다 직협기 다 상부연된 데서 사회 직 출루 켈레나 말레나 아니 삼에 계신 부직 직 지구아지 차대어래 자산디 인디 아니 직 롭티 때에 지원에 두스 직 나한테스 좀 계신 부지 세체 아니 공사초기 돈에 이나 차대 망부지 제나 라버도 직 단다 ethics for new millennium 전에 동동로 설배 수주 레 나가나 시에니 직 출루기 라올레 때베 대바체체 아니 beyond religions hotus 차대 zena nawa disamto mase ani chik chate shambat mambona la tu sungare chasanti deso same chik joja ti ta ningbo ti chu dune the emri chola lomjar khane ngan chu chik dromshi chi su ani dromshi samto mase tela chik lopshi rang su ne ta lopti che odus che tat lopshi deso chik the shirim Oma tam Burma kita chik lopsen nane lopsen zawen dun yongore te sum standa chik tempe chung tu chung de ar chasan deri te nganchu lopta rana la lopte nanking ki Jennifer danda Jen Knox shugare mo mingla mara gegen ran re shirim rana la tanga chit lopti nanke dos yende tamba morang ge ngosu lopti ko petön tone dos na che andana sing nge lero tanda Dr. Brandon Ozava de Silva kuna chasha na kebashira re ta chi sendik tone ina re ne chen na cho lai kebache odi tone kuna ge dos de robache che dana sing ni ge shetam tu namgelar re ani chi 전주 삼별라라 다고나서 차샤웨나 군대 교공바데 차자 즉 제코나서 툴라 즉그 차자제 추대에 대담바 데톨라니 즉다즉 차로 나야체 다가나시 아니 즉데 무수 롭티 나요 대담바 자웨 롭티디 인지케이 톨라 나야체 보라게다 거지 인지날라서 양 교르투스 제바이나 롭티 단다 시름 롭투 저기 다다 인지 캥거르벨라 lolosolo dos chebaina chi gale che yan chi kinatu tone magowaina go mason che son cha kya cha la pa kya che magowaina tu cha kya na ani yan chi ko chi pyoke na le de shi kya go ina gyap chu go ro wal cha san dos che ot dringi chi tuni de ngado de la shirim omagi loptu chola chi lopti na che ani nyung gyap la Good
morning. So I'm not starting with the class yet. This is for everyone to understand the structure of today. So what we'll be doing is going through one of our learning experiences. I'll be sharing a learning experience with the children. And what I would request from the audience is to observe the following, the quality of the engagement of the students as we move through the learning experience, maybe critical insights that emerge from the students as we move through the experience, the interaction between me and the students, my responsiveness to the students, and then any other significant moments. And these will be the areas that we'll discuss afterwards during a debrief and discussion. So Brendan will give an overview of the lesson, and then I will start, and then that will be our time to have our class.
So what Jen is going to be doing is she's going to be teaching the first learning experience or first lesson from the first chapter of our program. And as Geshe-la said, we have 7 chapters. And the topic of the first chapter is creating a caring classroom environment, or creating a compassionate classroom environment. Because we know from a lot of research and science also, that if the environment is not conducive to what is being taught, then the content is not going to be effective. And especially when teaching something like kindness and compassion, which is the very foundation of our entire program, it's very important to establish that environment first as a basis. So this first chapter works towards creating a set of classroom agreements that are based in kindness and compassion for one another. But first, the very topic of kindness and compassion has to be introduced, and that is the topic of this first learning experience. So Jen is going to have a brief lesson with the students, and the rest of us can observe and watch, and later there will be a chance for them to share what they experienced, the students, and then also for us to share what we observe from the outside, and then later we can also have a more general discussion about this.
So, good morning, class. How is everyone today? Fine? You've been waiting patiently for us to begin. I noticed how patiently you were waiting, and thank you for waiting for me. My name is Jen, and I would love to learn all of your names, but I think maybe we will have to learn all of them later, no? So today, our experience is going to begin with coming to understand what is happiness and what is kindness. And I think you have some ideas about this. Is that right? You have some ideas? Some of them. So the first exercise, I will share with you one statement. And if you can, raise your hand if this statement is true for you. Okay? You understand? Okay. So when I share a statement, then you can raise your hand and then put your hand down. But when you raise your hand, take a look around and see which of your friends are also raising their hand. Okay? So the first statement is, yes. Do you all have do you know what we are doing?
당한수 진짜지 고수구였다. 봐. 공기나주 견라래. 견라цел 젠 주송아. 어디 견라 간는 게 있을람나? 티워레리 꾸난 그래. 아니 아야나 티워 말에 지지지레 순구래 줘봐지. 스테이트먼트 센텐스 순구래. 직접 순구래. 디 덴바이나 소소삼로난 덴바이레 삼나 차장오래. 차장보다 냠도 예윤의 시는 차장에 가서요도 시고래도. 계속해.
Okay. Okay. So raise your hand if you have a sister.
Do you have a sister?
Is it true for you? You have a sister?
파마직배 빈자 보모 예배. 라고장.
Yes. Yes, yes.
다 예윤 다
Raise your
라고장
hand
예수
high, high. Yes, okay. So notice who of your friends has a sister. Yes.
수술로도 따다. 파마직배 빈자 보모 수술로도 따다. 시바.
Okay, and you can put your hands down.
달라고 마 법시.
Now raise your hand if you have a brother.
파마직배 부. 파마직배 부 예배. 부 빈자. 라고장 다 예윤 따. 시바 수술로도 따시.
Look around and see. Okay, now you can put your hands down. So now we're going to think about some things that we like. Raise your hand if you like momos.
모모 강에서 예.
So look around at all of your friends and notice who likes momos.
따다 모모 강에
I
가서
also.
수수고 마이마 모모 가서도.
Now you can put your hands down.
달라고 마 법시.
So who likes the color blue?
손도
Anyone here?
응원보 강에서 예.
Yes, yes. You like the color blue. Okay, you can put your hands down. Raise your hand if you like playing outside. Sports.
강배 치러 올라. 제면서야 가오 수수 예.
Yes, 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 me too. Okay, notice who among you
예 따고다.
likes
수수고 매매체.
sports.
수수 냠도 셈바 수수 딱 망려 가지고 딱.
And you can put your hands down. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some questions about some feelings that you might have. So raise your hand if you have ever felt happy. Look around and see.
다 좋아 걸어와.
Yeah.
되기 가부
Okay.
가도 가부 소리 용의 예배.
Yeah. We've all felt happy. So all of you have felt happy.
오, 망고 쉬우시고 만저 가부 소리 용이샤.
Yeah. You can put your hands
다
down.
되시라고 마빵.
So raise your hand if you would rather feel happy than sad.
소원이 나로네. 가보다 교 소원이 도와. 소원이 나로네 담고 주나 가보 담긴 인생의 수도.
Yes. All of us again? Is it
오,
everyone?
강가르샤.
Yeah. Okay. So it seems that all of you like this feeling of feeling happy rather than feeling sad. Raise your hand if you feel better inside when you are happy.
소소 가보 예배 qabla. 아니 대도 소와 대보 용이야. This 가보리. What was that?
Does happiness make you feel better inside? Yes.
소소 가보 예배 qabla. 아니 지단네 소소기 소와지 열와. 디 지기 대념체로 예야. 소리 용구도
Yes. And now put your hands down. And what about, raise your hand if you like when people are kind to you.
미 셴버스 기랑 참 좋은 지에는 가게 수수예스.
Yes, very high up, right? Yes, we all like people being kind to us. Yes, I noticed many of your hands are high. Okay. It seems like all of us like it when people are kind to us.
오, 미 셴버스 참 좋은 지도 마가게 째면도.
So you can put your hands down. So raise your hand if you feel happier when people are kind to us than being unkind.
미 셴버스 수수로 참 좋은 제베다 마제베니 이기나로네. 참 좋은 제베 qabla 가와 망와 초르게 수수예스.
Yes. So again, everyone here prefers someone to be kind rather than unkind.
때다 강가르시라고 양게 미신배 참 좋은 지에는다 가부 설계 강가르도 와서.
Do you think even the people in the audience, they might feel that they are happier inside?
단단 나란수데 롭투 나로 따디고라 가부 설계 망부도 와.
When someone is kind to
단다
them?
겔라 나바소에 다가라 인조. 지과 인조 면조. 인지래.
Audience, can you raise your hand if you feel happy inside when people are kind to you?
겔라 나바소 나로네 미신배 참 좋은 시디 가부시게 수예스.
So all of us in the whole room prefer this. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So the next exercise, you will need something to write with, so you have your notebooks. So before you write anything, I'm going to have you think for a moment. So you can put your pencil down, and even if you'd like to close your eyes or keep them open, but just thinking. See if you can bring to your mind a moment when someone was kind to you.
소소로 참 좋은 시간인데 미 많이 버체 둔두 셈진들에게 전부 제발 쓰게 돼서 이제 수인의 이거래.
So once you've thought of something, you can open your notebook and see if you can draw that experience.
이만 참 좋은 제용어지 텐션을 이마 럽뒤 삼론난지 코소마 삼론난지 코고도와 레모도치 코고도와 어디지야 답시제다. 야는 참 좋은 간데 제유메 야는 디두기 코리우가리메 다 뒤뒤 삼루날 가리코종 잠존 셰베 초와 제용도 삼루날 레모로 시작도 와. 삼루날 픽시아 시작도 와. 뒤뒤다.
Geshe-la, is everyone able to think of something? Are you all able to think of something?
지 전중에 전유는 삼루날 지 코여와 삼루날 간 코버디 이 레모날 밥이야 탑시죠 그래.
Maybe an animal or
야는 둔두 인기래 야는 미 인기래 야는
do you like dogs?
코유든데 인기래
Is
다음에
there a
내가
time when a dog was kind to you? Okay, you can draw this time. Maybe you all found something that you know. So now we are going to share with each other, if you like, about your drawing. So maybe I can come to each table and have someone share who would like to share, and if not, that's okay.
When I was 7 years old, in our home floor, there is a sister or home mother's girl, the middle girl of our home mothers. And she was very good, and now she was not here. When I'm 7 years old, I just love her things. She's very good to me. And one day I'm very sad because my mother came and she went back. And I went to a room and I will cry. And she come and give me 10 rupees. I'm very happy, and I went to duck shop and bought some biscuits. Yes, thank you.
So, your friends at your table, what did you notice about when she was sharing?
넘버스 디 캐나주데 로바 지게 단단 디 레몬티샵 디시 잡송아 디시 잡에 갑다 캐나주 가리도 나 중사
Did she seem happy when she was sharing?
디시 잡에 갑다 코나 가부도에 가부 유에 소르주도에 야 쪼우 유에 소르주도에 간데도사 디시 잡디 아 가부도에 오 가부 유에 도아 디시 잡디 갈 무무 디시 잡송아 아니 디시 잡송아 가부 유세로와 덴데라 나이 따라 젠주.
How did you feel when you were sharing? Did it bring the feelings about it back?
I feel very
Ah.
happy. I feel very happy to share my drawing.
Aha. Yeah.
One day when I had no drawing board, my friend who's not now here gave me his book, and a little few days later I wanted to play outside playing football, but they did not let me. Then the same friend let me play with him. I felt very happy.
Happy, yes. Okay. Thank you.
When I was playing with my friends and I fell down and it became a big wound in my hand, and my friend took me to the hospital, so I felt very happy.
Yes, yes, yes.
When I'm going from the road, one fat boy pulling me and one big boy saw that and he helped me. I was so happy.
Ah, thank you.
When I was a little boy, I loved to play with tree. But one day I fell from the tree, and a big boy came to help me. He shared with Chief Smith with me, and he took me to the hospital. I feel that the boy is a god.
Yes. So we have heard many stories of other people's kindnesses. What do you think? Do we all like when people are kind to us? Yes, yes. And how does it feel when we are also kind to someone else? Is that also good?
미신배 잠정시에 연두 수수 소와 대화 중어다 근데 내수 망보 고송아 되는시 만주의 신발을 잠정시에 비나 파줄 때 소화관리 용그래 오 직벌와 야야야
So is there anything that we have learned together today about kindness? What have we learned?
I learned from this moment that I like to always help to others.
I learned that when somebody help you, you feel happy.
Yes, yes, yes.
I learned that we have to be friendly with the friends, or we have to help others in need.
Yes.
If we will be kind to others, then others will be kind to us.
Golden rule. Yes.
kindness is something that people reciprocate you give
Yes.
them, you get back right
That's right.
yes I learned one thing more
All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating in our class today. One thing I would like to share with you, these drawings, anytime that you feel not happy, you can look at these drawings and maybe, what do you think will happen? What do you think? Yeah. You will feel happy. Yes.
다리
Yes.
지샤 레모디 수수 냐데 안 삼삼 심바마 기부다 두고도 근데 갑라 레모데 때 아니 녜마 용와데 테나 녜메 소아데와데 수용그레사 레마레 오야
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So that's the completion of our class together, but we would like to hear from the students. How was the experience being in the class? Did you like doing the drawings? Did you like raising hand and putting hands down? Any thoughts?
I'm very happy, and it was interesting also. I like to write drawing.
Yes.
I feel very happy when I was sharing my feelings with others.
And to the observers, I'd like to open up for discussion. Let's look at our questions, our guiding questions. What did you notice, and what is some feedback you have about what you saw? So anybody who would like to share, we can bring you a microphone.
Like, I just felt like when students started opening up, they felt more comfortable. So I just felt like if you had started the session by making the students greet each other or introduce, because at least they would have a chance to say something, and that would help them open up. Because there were some students, I feel like they might have felt like sharing what they had drawn and what they have in their mind, but they were not very comfortable in a way, like other students raising up their hand, and they was like, okay, next time it can be me, and then they were like kind of pulling themselves back. So if you could have, in a way, made the conversation a little more open, giving opportunity to all, they would have felt more comfortable. I just felt like I was just noticing some of the students who usually, in a way, like they're quick at like raising their hands, but today in a different setup and environment, they were not that much open. That is what I felt.
Many new factors in this room, yes?
What I have noticed here, initially the students were a bit tensed. So at least you have tried your best to loosen them. But I would rather say, for example, so many things happened when they were seated, right? The book distribution, introductions. So they were so excited in the beginning. So why not? This is my feeling, you know. It would have been more, help them loosen and feel at home if had there been some energizer activities like anyone sharing or any remembering, but themselves sharing what they did yesterday, any dreams like that, and especially the sharing part. You said anyone wants to share the pictures that they have drawn, right? Mental pictures. Why not prior to this? Is I thought. Why not prior to individually coming up? Why not within the group? Exchange the ideas and group discussions that would engage them more. This is what just a simple thought. Thank you.
Through this lesson, what I learned is that this morning Geshe-la said that can we teach kindness or something like that. Then what I felt is maybe the students they felt happy because they've been given kindness. The question is maybe they have in their mind that whether the other people can have feeling of such happiness when it is given a kindness. So through this lesson, I think they are sharing, and it made it clear to them that of course the other people are also felt happy when you do kindness to the other people. So I thought that maybe I've learned that this kind of the lesson really teaches us how to teach kindness and other things to the little students. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I felt that this is a great lesson. I really like the introductory part that you did, asking questions on kindness. And I also like this activity, drawing, which shared their moments. And the last one, you asked the children to keep the drawing to revive the moment so that they can feel happy later. And that experience of happiness remains. So I also like that part very much. So as a whole, I think this is a first type of teaching, ways of teaching this SEL. So I think this is a good example, and later on I think there will be more and more improvement. So I like this initiative. Thank you very much.
I noticed that children were engaged to the topic because it was not just you talking and explaining about kindness and happiness all the time. Instead, they got lots of time to think, reflect, and share their personal experience. So I think that will stay in their mind for a very, very long time instead of just listening and forgetting after 1 hour.
진짜 디나라야 초난 가르쳐 소소 디 초난데 단다 겐tukla 송송다레 보고 디게리아 디스 단다 지기 체난도 지 딘디 코리오 버지 초도 녀삼바 디게 ngazuki 두겐지 카리에 ting도 쉬어바이나 롭친당게디 나라주 수수 미릭레 셴바지체 다가나신 게디 니제 단다 혼자 장추비오 말에 대송장이 디 코리오기 땡땡 소요레 ting도 계속 롭친당게디 베버지 임바이나 고주단 코란티스 미터바체 고주베기 낭된디게 차장지 콘주 또두고 요바 세부 세미나라야 수술로나 차투고 요바 송자 코리오 디다 만도바 땡땡 요구레 ting도 대송장 단다 콘주 레야 토바디게디 야구레 야마토바디게디 코란조 땡법 메와니 자와니네 삼기민도 아주 코리오 미터바실려바이나 코란조기 냠슈기 니바다 디야 델레 야가지 차그레 삼선 팅도로와 이내야 단단하게 쉬어버지니 가르쳐서 쉬어바이나 코란조 단다 지랭아버레 디나네 망부지 진짜 숨바바도 인지장 요 말에 시방아바 단단아바 사바 인식이래 이내야 수수 삼로에 나갈라 단다 티바땅아샤바 디 시송게 수 삼로에 나기 차나디게디 세부 망조기려야 쉬토로와 인지나라 띵게 시다기 코란조 나오제 제여버지다 시지레 삼고도 학보도 단다 부카지기 수수 초난기 가베 초난디 마세부 슈토바 마세 파조 부구디 로바 칭인디 야부 이메 걸어야 코란기 지칼라오레 지게 observe 치토도와 근데 부구 징아 행동의 마사소 아니 조조디 nga라야 사에 nga라야 냠도 고셔잔 때소 녜 삼발라 코에 미야 상보지 인사레 삼상디 수수 초와 마셰토 자 마세 파조디 간제 여바디에 녜 삼보 또토바디 녜 시지레 팅기도 당아도 차샤베네 레군지나 레가 징해지 뭐 송자 뇌수 진전난도 롭지 제기 고갑 요마레 임바이나 수수 부구지게 파마임에 차네 야제야 담바 단단나보조 송송나시 수수 부구려야 가연 지원기 간다지 gem발이야 괴지다 로아 간다지 야랍 상주 최고와디 땡땡거라 야오름제기 준도 간난기요레 수수 다가란 철구요 나보조에 다가나시 롭지 난기요레 디 수수 나라 베진 슈구요 진 슈에이 도체나.
Maybe we can move on now to the last question, unless there was anyone else who has an observation. What did you notice? Okay. What do you want to remember that you would do yourself in a classroom? And I think also this includes what would you do differently, which some of you have already started to speak to. Much of the doing differently also is about this space, right, being pre-prepared. So just to give you a bit of background, for me, in my classroom, the way I might have done this differently, so I can reflect to you, is to, of course, know each child individually, yes. And so your suggestion of going around introducing is quite good. But I would also like to know each one of you before coming into this space. The space itself, the step in, step out activity, this first activity where they raise their hand is actually designed to be done in a circle so that everyone is around the room together in one circle, and one steps into the center of the circle, if it is true for them, and then step out, right? And so the first series of questions is designed because these are things that one cannot control. Whether or not someone has a brother, whether or not someone has a sister, this is a fact, not something they control. And then we move to likes, preferences, and then to the experience of emotions. So working our way slowly, incrementally up. And we would actually have more questions, so to yours, more statements. So I did abbreviated version here. The other thing that I would do differently is when they are sharing, that they would do a pair share first. So the first way that they share is first in pairs together, but they have these groupings of 5. So I decided to change because then one person would be left out. So I just on the spot decided to do the feedback back from each table. But I would have them work in pairs and then share after that. And usually this leads to a sense of confidence because they've had an intimate exchange with someone and then they share out. And I think I would imagine many more would feel comfortable. And in the pair share, I would have them think about when they're listening to their friend share, have them look at what does it look like? Does it look like that person is happy when they're sharing that story? What feelings seem to be there? What did you notice about your friend when they were sharing that story? How did it make you feel? So we can extend this even deeper. And then, of course, I would spend more time with questions and leading it back to the first activity. But I would like to ask you, what would you like to remember that you might do in the classroom yourself? If you have anything else in addition, many of you have talked about it.
Children get lots of time to talk. As much as teacher is, teacher talks a lot in the class, so we have to make sure that children also get lots of time to talk and share their experience.
Yes. So give ample time to the children. Make space and time for the children's voices to share. Yes.
So just to, in a way, acknowledge, because I just started with what did you notice, what is some feedback you have about what you saw. So in that heat of the moment, maybe I just forgot to acknowledge the good work that you have done. So I'm just taking this opportunity to do that. And plus, just adding on to what you said about think, pair, and share. So given a chance, I would like to, in a way, during the think, pair, and share, make the students talk to each other, because once they have shared their thoughts and feelings, so what they can do is the other person sharing the other person's, like one student sharing not his feelings, but the other person's feeling. That would in a way give a sense of a sort of responsibility in a way, because when you have listened to the other person carefully, now you have that feeling. It's like the saying, the more you know, the more you care. So it's kind of knowing each other, and then since you have the care, so you are sharing his feelings on the student's behalf. So that would also help, not just make the students realize about kindness, it's about altruism in the way, caring for the other person, doing something on his or her behalf. So that would also give them a sense of satisfaction.
Wonderful idea, wonderful.
I have done this kind of class in my school, and I would do exactly the way you have done this time. I know that due to time constraint and cameras and lots of observers, students are getting nervous, but I felt that you have set the mood for the session by giving the statement, and then generally you come down to the topic of introducing kindness. One thing that I would do differently in my class would be like not all the students are good at drawing, so some might hesitate to draw. So I would rather ask them to write it, whether they want to write it in their own language, native language Tibetan, or English, because they feel more comfortable in their own comfort zone. Then later on, I always start with my own example, like if I'm asking them to share a story about how people were kind to them, or I would start with myself, and then initially, like we have also seen this, like initially students were a bit hesitant because obviously lots of this, but then generally they were feeling motivated and engaged. That's what I want.
So that's going to conclude our debrief of the lesson, and thank you so much for your feedback. It's very, very valuable for us to hear how you perceive it from your context, because we are creating this program at the request of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but in the United States. But His Holiness actually requested that we create this program for the entire world. And, different places are different. The classroom situation is different, the teachers are different, the students are different, culture is different, religious background is different. So when we go to different places, your feedback is very, very valuable, and we're always listening, and then we go back and we improve it and we change it based on what you said. So thank you so much. Now we have about half an hour or a little bit less before lunch. So there's some time for just general questions. If you have general questions about either the content of the program or the overall project, or if you want to share what would be most helpful for you in understanding this, we have some time for more general discussion. Please feel free to raise any comments or any questions you might have.
Gigin ki luptu sola sangju pegora silabdu. Gigin soge sangju na netuba tabki karchiga. Tikale kabu hiure ya. Antu heyon yinare sangju yinare milpa che se de lelabudu. En nesu de hen osre kale kale heyon gore. Ta di injike masona live to walk the talk. Sehjor dikhagudu. Ti dingantu ta Diklam hiu soe dende de yome kanshi de kanji ngara so chik chik le jugu chen rwa chik chik le jugu chen o dikke che dan dik ma sunda che dan dik ma sunda se jin susu ma te nyom jung ro che chen huda dan ne ran hin khorang gi doja su kan yo mare di mujin che ta ina khob de gan la nyomo se gor da kharina de chen yung de ene lamsan lamsa hyor do ye ngatu mi chu ma pha sha ne be ge hi laram ba thyon sa gi sena khang de yor tinde nga je lang de ge jagre jagre ta 딩어도 상매게 됐지 마용이 에너지 웅중우게 곰자베 이나레 바루바루 수수 텐소다이 디 체히지 칼리칼리 로드나ल 코두르체네 소고서레 삼스게 디직 텐스
I have a question, because normally when we talk about kindness, what comes in our mind is just helping others. When someone is in trouble, we help them. That's we perceive as kindness. But this is a very broad topic: social, emotional, and ethical learning. I just want to ask a question. For example, if now many of the adults, because we are teaching all this, inculcating all these wonderful things to children. However, among many of the adults, just standing in line, they don't care about others. They just cut the line, they just cut the queue and wanted to, go, and just do not think about, bothers about people standing behind. So does this comes under this broad topic, and how can I, make other person understand that, standing in line and respecting others' time and feeling is, also very, very important. I think this is something we adults need to understand and, consider this as very important. So if you would like to say something, how can I convince someone rather than, verbally saying, explaining this to an adult?
So that's a very good comment, very important. part of this program is providing a curriculum for students, but part of it also is about teacher education and teacher preparation. So obviously, one way of teaching is through direct instruction and activities like this, but another way is through modeling. So if the teacher is not a model of kindness, compassion, respect, and so on, then they might be doing activities and saying, be compassionate, be kind, but in their own actions, they're teaching something different. So the teacher education and preparation part is very important. So we are also developing some tools for that. And also some of the lessons are specifically about skills to cultivate a sense of respect or compassion and so forth. So this is something His Holiness has asked us to bring in. So if the teachers also don't engage in that in some way, then it won't be as meaningful what they're trying to teach the students. Then also another component is the parents. So we want to have some materials that go home with the students to the parents, so the parents understand the concepts and understand what their children are learning. And then there's a further component, of course, which is for the administrators and the whole school environment. So, the role of adults is, of course, very, very important. But, our intention is to gradually bring about a positive change in society. And education is seen as, the easiest, most effective vehicle through which we can do that, because the children are still very open and receptive to new ideas, often more than adults. So that's the idea. So there is a kind of systemic approach to this, but we focus more on the education side. Does that answer your question? Thank you so much.
So I absolutely agree with what Kangsangla had said, because the problem these days is not just with the kids, but with adults. And I feel one idea behind educating the students is because just to make up for the loss and to make them better human beings, because they are young minds, so we can, in a way, like you said, they are very receptive to new ideas. Adults can sometimes be very stubborn, not ready to change their attitude, their way of thinking. So this is just a sort of addition to what Kangsangla has said and what you had said. So my question is based solely on today's classroom. So I just wanted to know, like this is one class, and you taught about, you made students realize that everybody needs happiness. And you made them share their moment in their life when they felt they were taken care of and they were happy. So my question is, what would be the next step? So will you make the students just be contented that yes, they had a happy moment sometime in their life? Or will you give a message, convey a message to the students that since you were made happy by someone in your lives, will you make an attempt to make someone happy from your side? So what would be the way through which you are going to do that? Will you give them some sort of assignment, some project work, a group discussion? So any of small acts in the school setting or in the home or in their neighborhood where they are going to make someone happy so that they can remember that yes, happiness counts. A little act of lovingness and kindness really counts and makes a difference in your life. So not just be contented that you were taken care of, but you have to pass on this to others as well, because like you deserve happiness, like you desire happiness, others too do that. So I feel that is more important, making the students aware of the fact that yes, they too have a responsibility. They too have to make others feel happy. So this is what I just wanted to know, what would be the next step? What are the different strategies that you would like to adopt or you are adopting to make the students learn about that?
Thank you for your question. Clearly you are a wealth and well of ideas, so I know you have ideas of how you would do this within your own classroom, as well as many of you also. So that is something that could be added on. But the way that we move from this specific learning experience into the next one is to create a group agreement as a classroom. of how we want to be together. So I'll speak first to the teacher's role in this. For me, as a teacher, before I engage in this learning with the students, I ask myself, what am I doing with my thoughts, with my emotions, and with my actions to establish a culture of compassion? And is there a place where I am stuck? And work through that with deliberate cultivation of these skills, which I hope to embody in my students. So the self-compassion component is a huge component here, and that stance of compassion then leads me into teaching and facilitating many different experiences that deepen the understanding of compassion. So this is not enough. This is the very first lesson of the full program. So the entry point here is to understand I have been the recipient of kindness, the children, that they have been the recipient of kindness and that they build value of that experience because they can bring it to mind and they feel in their bodies what it feels like when they think of this experience. So because they have this experience of having been the recipient, then when they're in relationship, they know that when they share that with someone, it will bring those feelings to that other. So it's a very personal experience of value. So from this point, we would then move into asking the students, and I actually might ask them now, because they're getting a little restless and I care for them, how they would like to be together. What are the elements present within the class that they value? What are things that they want from one another in order to feel safe and content and supported within this class? So that each time they enter, they can think, I'm stepping into this culture of the classroom that is a deliberate one that I have helped to create by sharing with the group agreements. And the teacher also can contribute to those group agreements. So maybe from that point, then we continue to investigate different ways of thinking about compassion, deeper and deeper and deeper. And then we move into building resilience, which I'll talk about after this afternoon. I think it's a bit difficult to share the full progression, but that might give you a little bit of a context. Yeah.
We have this secular ethic in our Tibettv schools, and we do this on Saturday. And I have done this one, class on kindness. And I taught this in class 4. I asked questions like, are you happy? How you became happy, or who makes you happy, like that. Yeah, and then they tell us, first they begin with their parents, like parents gave us money or clothes or like that. Then gradually, then we discuss more and more, and then they came like farmers, the other human, right? Then they extend to farmers, merchants, tailors. That tailors makes our clothes, like farmers grow clothes for us. So in a way, as we discussed along, it came to the idea of interdependence. And also they felt that others are kind to them, so they should be also kind to others. And we have in this class, be kind to everyone. So in this way, we also have I think, a friendly classroom. I told them, now you will be kind, so you need to help weak students. Like, in a way, we created a kindly classroom. So it was our first lesson, so like that.
Yeah, thank you. And you felt that students were engaged with this work?
Of course, they were very much engaged. And I think this is one of the most important things to learn, how to improve one's emotional behavior, right? Thank you.
What the kindness looks like. It's not simply when you fall down or somebody helps you, but kindness can be when you are walking through a door and you're holding the door for someone else. So in that way, we can brainstorm also what are the other ways we receive kindness and we can extend kindness. And that exercise with the students can be very, very helpful. So in that way, we begin to see kindness in many different forms.
So I would like to actually go back to the students and do an activity where we consider how we would like to be together in the class. So what types of things do they feel they need in the class in order to feel safe and supported and at ease, so that this can become a culture of compassion within this space. So where's Keshik? Are you ready, Keshik? It's nice to meet all of you. So what I would like to do, we've done the drawings together of the really nice moment where you received kindness. So what I would like to explore with you is to know what you need from your friends. How would you like to be treated in this class in order to feel like you are safe and supported? Are there some things that you would like to ask of your friends in order to help you feel safe and supported in this class? So we can create an agreement together.
아니 가르치나 삼고도 진도 가르치나 삼고도 사 소소 진데나 용도 대보 기불 해보 아니 시대 현자 용해야 된다라 소소 대바 여러와 심버스 가르치나 삼고도 디톨레 프로그램 간데체도 그래.
So why don't we just take 1 minute and you can open up your notebook and maybe you can write down a few of your own ideas of what you would like from your friends in order to make you feel safe and supported in this class. Maybe some words like
단다 맞아 레모티야 삽라 야네 레모티네 디그레 레모티야 삽라 이기티네 디그레 가르치고 그랬을람나 진데나 용도 간라 아니 뢰보 대보 기부 아니 즉 뢰보시 용해야 된다라 로고스 가르치나 삼고도스 가르치러 제나 삼고도스 로고스 가르치나 아니 계속 기부 용구레 대부 용구레 시대 용구레.
Maybe you would like for them to listen to you. Yeah? Maybe you would like for them to smile with you. So these kinds of things.
진데나 용도 수수께서 라베 여야디 심버서 녀로제나 야 진데나 용부터 미수 동반하고 마dem제 동반 개수수 때로제나 사면들 여러와 어떤데 가리가리 튕기도 네 로봇이 된데 제로 하지나 안 기부 용사래 진데나 허브 용사 심버 진데나 대부의 민도 채나에 지금 섬그려와 봐 오 다시 가투이가 나를 리뷰가 동반 나보딩도 동반이 개좀 제로 지나 삼나 이치쇼 그래 다시 개무쇼 진데래 디밍라 그룹 에그리멘사 지미 중시합에 내던들에 봐. Oh.
So one idea that I heard when I went to one table was be kind. Is that an agreement that we all feel is important?
걔라도 스코르잼 두디기 미치 가르치셔람나 심버스 수소 잠정체나스 잠부터 자와체나스 셈예버체나스 삼 디샤스 디 아주 강가 무디유베사.
So raise your hand if you think be kind is a good one that we should put up on our group agreement board.
이자 심버스 수 셈상보체나 삼기로와 셈상보체나 삼기유베사.
So be kind. Yes.
어디 강가 무디누와.
Another idea I heard when I went around was support. Support. Yes, that was your idea. Exactly. So raise your hand if you think support each other should be on our group agreement. Okay. Okay. Another one I heard was smile. Is that something that's important to a lot of you?
펜수 좀단 때야. 좀단 때 미식 좀단 때 지샤사. 안 무디여게 가수여사.
Does smiling make our friends feel supported and welcome? Yeah. Raise your hand if you think we should include smile on the board. Yes.
좀단 때에 버게 지가. 버기는 주네 야서베.
Okay.
좋아. 관계 지미여 돈다로와.
So are there any other agreements we should put on our board besides these? Something missing?
다동 관계 지미 제고야 내수 버기는 매봐. 뒤쪽나 서면은 유배사.
Yes.
Lend your things to others.
Say thank you. Lend your things to others. Is this an important one? Share.
펜준지기질 잘라 야래 제야사. 근데 야고도 누에 몇tun이 주베.
Shall we put this on our group agreements?
버게 지가
To share with
지미
each
돈나.
other. That's important to all of us, yes? Share.
디페 야고요. 미직을 유협체 심버줄 매비나. 심버줄 강가를 유협은 싫어와. 야로체나. 내 말에. 강가 주고 자기로 강가 잘라 유협 강가 상가지로. 그러와. 디페 야고도 나이 가위. 나이 지기.
We have some more ideas. Yes.
Not to tease others.
So how can we say not to tease others in a way that tells us what we can do? So let's see. Rather than saying don't tease, what can we say?
하고서 지와 하고서 공기 삼자 가르쳐서
Maybe use kind words.
판 펜수 녀마고야.
Is that?
펜수 녀주 맞이야. 야는
Using kind words to others.
Kind words to others. Is that important to everyone? Using kind words to others.
펜수 참여해야죠라.
So this seems related to be kind, but we can say use kind words, right? Yes. Yes.
To say thank you to each other.
Yes. Does this seem important?
근데도
To say thank you.
Yes. 로체를 지도가는 대슈고대 토지체라야 맞아야 지야디.
So raise your hand if we should put say thank you to one another.
토지체라야 디토라 메두요게.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Any others? Yes, let's go over here.
Help others.
Help others. Does this seem important? Help others. Okay, let's put that one up. You can go up. Okay. Yes.
Sorry to others. To say sorry to others.
Yes. So sometimes we forget, we make a mistake, and then we can help each other by saying, I'm sorry. Does this seem an important part of our class agreement? So when we make a mistake, we can say, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry to others. Okay, who else have I not?
Help others who was weak at subjects.
Help others. So we even have more in regarding helping others. So help specifically someone who is weak in subjects. Okay, that's important to say.
지금 하고송아. 지금 럽투지 앙지대부터 지금 교우이나 디 다가시아마 셰프지 로봇이야디. 로봇 믹스에 제대로와
We have
믹스간.
to say good words to each other.
Good words to each other. Good words. So yes, can that go under use kind words? Is that a good way to say that? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Others before self.
Sorry?
Others before self.
Others before self.
Yes.
So is this one important? Thinking of others before ourselves.
Think, keep. put others before self, right? Think about others.
Ah, is that right? Okay. Okay. So we have many, many, many things that we could continue to add. If I had more time with you, let's do one more.
Giving out good news.
Oh, this
Sharing
is a
good news.
one.
Wow,
That's
yes.
a great one. Yeah.
Wow.
So raise your hand if you think we should give out good news.
Sanyu yaku pasu pereche.
Share good news. Yes.
Nesu yaku pasu pereche. Chig nesu yaku shembe na nyama debche shembal pesha na shembade shingirwa. Abo de yagala.
Yes. Is there anything that we're really missing that we need that is not showing up at all?
Tapagi tona yuebiche, but tona kwe de benalone. Chig changmudu di changro chena seme chig duesa.
We're missing one.
If somebody is talking to you, and it's very important to listen to the person who is talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So raise your hand if we need to listen to each other when we're talking.
Oh,
yes.
심바지 깨지 셰비깔라 판디 창가제 맞집시 년조 셰야디 개체를래 야보도와 오 관계 메든도.
Ah, okay. So one thing that I know about group agreements is that all of you now have ownership. All of you have created this together. And sometimes if we forget about the group agreement, it's okay, it's a mistake. But what can we do if we forget and we maybe don't listen or we tease someone? Then how can we gently remind each other about our group agreements? What's one way?
진대나 용도가라 다다디 관계 지묘체니 나 진대나 용도가라 코리오데데 주중나 삼바와 삼삼은 저야 남영쇼니 디나는 직 마제비 인구로와 근데갑라 파 전수 땅고 주나 간데스 땅가 아
How could we tell each other, remind each other about those?
파수 전수 땅고 주나 가서 지묘토네 직랩뒤 직 년체 봐. 직 년로 맞잖아. 안 간데스 전수 땅가
Could we keep them in the room on the board so you can see them always? Is that one way?
탑시 찍디 나반다고 지간라 당본에 가서 지묘 제시하면 된다. 나보간 뒤집이 샤샤나. 샤 아니 파겠다. 가도 랍초로 와. 들으시는 지그리 배. 탑시 찍으리 배. 네 말해. 캔슨 탑시 심바 유에메.
Is there another way that you can think of?
탑시 심바 누에사.
No. That's a good way. So, even if we have it in the room, sometimes we think, we forgot one group agreement. Maybe we want to add to that group agreement. Should we also be able to add to our group agreements?
하고 송해. 근데 다른 아주 감 계제시에제 지묘토네 미망체 되바 카르투 제나 용두 가르치나 사면 되바 카르투 토티로와. 그래서 이는 니주 사와주 중네. 야. 네 상계민도 네 중나 빼야고 용서래. 그게 돈날래 민도 다 돈날 크고도 삼나 야고래 말에. 삼룽으로 와. 삼룽으로 와. 그는 돈나 꽤초 룽으로 와. 내 말에.
Does that sound like a good idea?
But
But it's not finished now.
Di그러 와.
We can let it grow over time. Yeah? And become a
디시디
reminder
토나
for us.
예비디 단다 쭉 뒤인 예들 좀도 매비나 다가 앉아 인짐지 내고 말와. 선이는 쭉쭉지 주니 패줘 그래 저거 말해. 오.
Yeah. Oh, we have some. No? Who would like to say something?
Who wants to say?
Did
you want to say something?
Yes. Okay.
While we are learning in the class, we have to pay attention in the class.
Yes, this is important. This is something we've forgotten.
right.
Yeah. So while we are learning, we need to pay attention. Yes.
진대나로 롭중 제가 용번 인사 롭중 제가 용번은 시 된다 주비알라 개치부 찍디 도나한테 애들에서 무튼 예매.
Raise your hand if we should add this one.
그냥 주는 되게 돼.
Okay, great. What's the time? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So hopefully, these group agreements will be something that you can remember together. All of you decided that these were very important in order for you to feel welcome and safe. So I encourage you, even when I'm gone, to remind each other of these important agreements that you have made. Because it's not me who made them, yeah? It's you who made them together. Okay?
먼저 도나 중에 지라 단답하게 토슝 토케 신부 중송아 하게 지미 제약이 내도연 가리가리레 토 계신부 중송아 디 속에지 게라 말와 먼저 서임바 인상 알아라서 아주 되니 소토부도와 빼야고도와 어디 porque nenga chibu insa semna la nge ya ta su su ne to shung na la khwe ya ta an pa kabri yang se chansu ta ya ta chi chi chansu ta ne de na yong du ka phai kang ga ka ju tu tu ke chang ye sim bi yong na pe ya go yong sro wa o di semna nge gu do ke la ye men la ma tu bi chen ro ba
Okay, thank you so much.
oh 진짜 최소 진짜 최소 그래 진짜 최소